like I was running out of batteries. Video game dads are much cooler than real life dads. I mean, when was the last time your dad used the Force to conquer the galaxy, or outdrew a group of hairy bandits in a Mexican ghost town, or committed bigamy in 6 different places around the country, or even established a discriminatory floating sky city? Never. That's when, because your dad is actually a pretty nice bloke. But anyway, here's my rundown of my favourite dads on Xbox, so sit up straight and concentrate or there'll be no pocket money for you this week. A good dad is a bit like a video game tutorial. They help you choose what you want to be in life, they tell you how things work, and most importantly, they give you tips on when not to bug your mum. So it's kind of surprising that more games don't do what Fallout 3 does. It has your dad James help you create your character, select your skills, and then figure out how the whole game works. And then he leaves you to languish in the vault while he goes off to save the world. Thanks, Dad. James is memorably voiced by Liam Neeson, so when you play Fallout 3, you will look for him, you will find him, and you will help him bring clean water to the people of Washington, DC. Now I know Luke Skywalker wasn't all that chuffed to find out that Darth was his old man, but I can think of worse blokes to call dad. For a start, when you get to play him at the start of The Force Unleashed, he is a complete badass, smashing rebels, Wookiees, and Jedi alike as he attempts to purge the galaxy of the light side of the Force. But it's not like he doesn't have a soft paternal side like we saw in Return of the Jedi. When he finds Starkiller on Kashyyyk, he realizes he's strong in the Force and raises him as his secret apprentice. He's not all bad, is Darth. Don't worry, no spoilers, but please stand to attention and pay respect to Lee Everett, who starts The Walking Dead Season 1 as a convicted murderer on his way to prison, but finds daddy redemption in the zombie apocalypse. He stumbles across little girl Clementine early on in Episode 1, and the rest of the season is one of VideoGames' greatest examples of character building, creating a relationship between the two that is genuinely touching and often heartbreaking. Like Cormac McCarthy's The Road, The Walking Dead reminds us that the end of the world is much scarier when you have someone to lose. In Red Dead Redemption, John Marston is a father forced into doing dirty work for the government so he can save his wife and son. And I'm not going to get into it, but if you haven't played the last hour of the Red Dead storyline, you have my permission to stop this video right now and pop off and do it. It is ace. But it's in the standalone Undead Nightmare expansion where John really has to be the daddy. The game opens with his wife turning into a zombie and chomping on their son, and it is not an illness that Calpol is going to fix. So John hogties them and heads off to save his family and the rest of the West from the undead plague. What a dude. In Fable 2, you're the dad, and actually you're less of the best dad and more of the best bad dad. Fable 2's desire to let you carve out your very own hero's destiny meant it was pretty progressive when it came to sex and marriage and having kids, and you had total freedom to woo whoever you wanted, regardless of what gender you both were. Well played, Lionhead. And get down to some funny business with or without protection. Or you could settle down, get married, and have kids of your own. Of course, being an adventure RPG meant that you're unlikely to spend much time at home with the fam, so it was perfectly possible to shack up with a string of partners all the way across Albion and pop out sprogs like they're going out of fashion. There was even an achievement for having a kid, and who can forget the bigamist achievement for getting married more than once? The Albion version of Jeremy Kyle must be incredible. It's natural for dads to feel protective of their kids, but I think the big daddies in Bioshock are taking things a little bit far. They've stuffed themselves full of plasmids and grafted themselves into massive deep-sea diving suits of armour so they can lumber around after the little sisters and smoosh anyone who even looks at them sideways. In the first Bioshock, these guys are a constant source of great gunfights, and in Bioshock 2 you get to play as one yourself. But the sweetest bit of fatherly love in Bioshock is one of the endings from the first game. I won't spoil it, but if you did the right thing, you'll know exactly what I mean. And good on you. Now your dad probably does some embarrassing stuff, but spare a thought for Infinite's Elizabeth. Her adopted dad, Zachary Hale Comstock, doesn't just dance like an idiot and have terrible taste in music. He's only gone and set up a floating militant utopian society rife with discrimination and inequality and established himself as a religious icon. Oh, Dad! Things get even more complicated when Booker DeWitt turns up and Infinite spirals into a provocative look at fatherhood, religion, discrimination, and determinism. So next time your dad starts snoring through Britain's Got Talent, just think yourself lucky, eh? Marx's dad Adam is the J. Robert Oppenheimer of the Gears universe, a former soldier turned university lecturer turned weapons of mass destruction creator tasked with ending the war with the Locust. When he couldn't figure out how to do it peacefully, he turned to the Hammer of Dawn, and that did not work out too well for anyone. And then poor Marcus, responding to a call for help from his dad, gets himself banged up in prison for 4 years, then spends the rest of the series looking for him. Now there's quite a lot of father-son stuff going on in the Gears of War series, and the ending of Gears 3 is genuinely emotional, so it's not all just chainsaw guns and thick necks. That's it folks, 8 of the finest father figures in Xbox history. Now if we've missed your favourite, let us know in the comments, and I hope our picks have reminded you just how cool, how well adjusted, and how just plain normal your dad is, so don't forget to tell him you love him, eh? And if you're a dad and a gamer, I salute you. I know it's not easy to juggle both of those very important responsibilities. If you enjoyed this video, leave us a like, make sure you subscribe to Xbox UK on YouTube for more videos, and get upstairs and tidy your room or you're getting grounded, and don't bother running off to your mum. See you later.